Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, the friendship between Pat Sajak and Vanna White has never hit bankrupt. So, what's the secret to their success? You'll find out in the Hot Dish. Then a new documentary goes way beyond the tight disco pants and high notes of the Bee Gees. Find out why you have to watch this behind-the-scenes look at these music legends. And did you know it's National Show and Tell Day at work? Well, the Jason Show staff is at work, and we're going to show and tell you. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. We are live from our studios in the Twin Cities. Happy Friday. Look at the virtual audience right there. We'll say hi to him and hi to them in just a little bit. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister, Miss Kendall Mark, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning, Kendall.
Good morning, Jason.
Right away, do you mind if I have an observation?
What depends?
Exactly. It depends. Don't worry, it's light. That we call that the cold open that you just saw.
Yep.
You know, the little tease. Coming up next, you know, it's called a little TV lingo. It's called the cold open. It's edited today by photographer Eric, who we used to see all the time, but then the pandemic happened and his wife put him in the basement, and he's
It's been locked.
No, really, I'm not. No, people think I'm kidding.
He is.
Chris, I'm not kidding, am I? Tanya, Eric's wife, put him in the basement. And I haven't seen him for months. Jeff, have you seen him? Chris, have you seen him? Kendall barely sees him.
I do see him sometimes.
He crawls out of the basement, he gets his tray of food, and he crawls back down.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he edited that today. And did you notice the tease about the whole staff show and tell?
Yeah.
Now remember, what did I just say? The staff.
Staff.
And that's the staff.
Yeah,
you know?
all of us.
What video did Eric show? Just Ted.
I think that was Ted on the
Just
roller.
Ted. Obviously, we know who Eric's favorite is.
Clearly. I get him out of the basement, and what do I get? Nothing.
The damn show's my name. I mean, it doesn't like me. After yesterday, not a lot of people like me, but that's okay. Cheers, everybody. Let's get started, everybody. Let's say hello to our virtual audience. Say hello to Dave, Cynthia, and Neil and Corey. Hi, guys. Hello. Dave, we're going to start. Dave, I'm going to start with you, my dear friend. Where are you coming in from?
International Falls.
Ooh.
I got to tell you, congratulations. You're the first person to join our virtual audience from International Falls.
Is it cold there?
Dave is overcome with emotion. Cynthia, where are you coming in from?
Plymouth.
Oh, my former home. I love the Plymouth. It really is. If I don't live in downtown, that's one of the places where I want my mom. Oh, hello, kitty. Was that a cat that just...
Yes, Sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar
I
was
love
bored.
it. And finally,
Yes.
Neil and Corey. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Guys, where are you coming in from?
Richfield.
Oh, another great one. You guys have a good target. You guys have I love the Richfield. You guys, that really is just a great target.
That's so Minnesotan.
I know, that
Great
would compliment the target. It is, yeah. Well, we're going to be checking in with the audience a little bit later. Kendall, may I ask you a question?
Always.
If I were to say to you, hey, Kendall, give me a hobby that Jason might like to do. Give me one right now that you know me well enough.
Shopping at the Mall of America.
Okay, great. What if I said to you ice fishing? Would you put that in the category of things that I would like to do?
Absolutely not, since I've been begging you to do it for
Yeah.
the 2 years I've been here.
So I told this, I think I told a little bit of the story. My mother-in-law, who knows me very well, said one day, said to Colin, why doesn't Jason want to go ice fishing with me? A statement said by no one, ever. Why would she think that this wants to go ice fishing? It's making fun of me. I'm not a fisher person. I don't know how to do it.
A fisher person.
I don't like the ice cracking underneath me. That would freak me out. I don't know what we would do in the ice house. I guess you drink in there. I can do that on land.
Yeah.
So this morning, go ahead, Leo, put up the photo. This is my family. This is Colin's dad. That's Papa Haas. I talk about him all the time. There's my nephew, Carter, in the middle. Now, that's the kid that eats the squirrels.
Yeah.
Remember I said he's the outdoorsy kid. He'll eat anything. You know, he'll put anything. He's outdoorsy. He's a hunter. And then that's Ella. I love her. That's and then Press isn't in that photo. Press is my other niece. She's the one that's like me. We both like Harry Potter, and we both like to not wear camo. So I'm showing you this photo because they sent this to me this morning and they said, we're waiting for you. We're going ice fishing today. Sorry, I have a TV show to do. I shan't be joining you.
There's still time. They'll go for the night session, so.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do it for the show. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll do a twofer.
Dave's nodding. I bet Dave's an angler. There's great fishing up in the far northern hemisphere.
Well, I'll go with Dave. If Dave will have me over to his house, I'll go with Dave. Well, Dave, you'll have. Dave says yes. Okay. Well, I'll ask him about it a little bit later. Dave said okay. Let's get started. Well, Dave, you're inviting me to your house. I can come over and ice fish.
For sure. I'll take you over to Lake of the Woods, best walleye capital of the world.
Okay.
It is.
That's
it
it.
is. That's where
Kendall.
Jordan went on his bachelor party.
Kendall, do we book the flight? Do we fly there? No, we drive. Okay,
We
book the
drive.
flight.
It's a long drive.
Okay, we'll book the flight then. Get the chopper. Here we go, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Let's get going. Our show has a chopper, right? Vanna White and Pat. I'm sorry. What, Ted? We share it. We share it with Twin Cities Live.
Okay. Better check in.
I'll see if Elizabeth's borrowing it. Vanna White and Pat Sajak have been an iconic TV duo since 1982. Nearly 40 years. Well, the two preside over Wheel of Fortune, obviously, and in a recent interview with Page Six, Vanna revealed the secret to their ongoing success. They never fight. That's their success. They never fight. She says it's because they usually don't see each other very often. That's also the secret to most marriages. They tape the shows for a couple of days and then don't see each other for 2 weeks. She also works out religiously because she's afraid of coming to the studio and not fitting into one of her dresses. Oh, girl, I get it. I hear you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, hello. How are you going to screw that up?
Well, yeah.
Come on.
I said that during a meeting. I said, I think they're also of the age, and they're bright enough people. They realize they have single-handedly the best gig in TV.
Yeah.
They work maybe 20 days a year, and I'm actually not.
He's being serious.
I'm actually being serious. They probably work maybe a month together. Jeff, what is is it like 40 days, I think? I don't know. I'm looking at Jeff like he worked at Wheel of Fortune or something.
Yeah.
But Jeff, when you worked at Wheel of Fortune, how often did you work?
Was it hard to spin the wheel?
Yeah. But I think they work like 40 show taping days a year, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Why would you complain, you know?
I don't know. And the fact that they never fight, it's relevant in the sense that you hear about a lot of that drama on different shows that people do together, especially when someone is clearly the more famous head of the show than, Vanna is.
Oh, I thought you were alluding to something. I'm like, we get along, girl. We get along,
Guys,
yeah.
the real dish.
Exactly. We hate each other. No, yeah, it's hard to fake it every day.
It would, yeah. I mean, if I didn't like the show, I would leave, because you're not leaving.
Yeah, I'm not leaving, no. I've been in situations where I haven't, capital L, loved another person that I've done something with.
And you hear about that on different shows, you know?
And I hide it not very well. Next in the dish. I got this from Jeff. Come on, Jeff. You got in enough trouble yesterday. Just keep it going. Just keep going. Next in the dish, former SNL cast member Bill Hader was on with Seth Meyers last night. And the two talked about one of his most famous characters and my favorite. Look.
I think that you probably get asked this all the time. I know I do. How do you think Stefan would be doing during a pandemic? It strikes me that a lot of what he does would probably be shut down right now.
I don't know if he would notice. He's going to go for a while and not really notice, and then.
That's true, and I guess this is like a natural mask, right?
Yeah, it was a mask. Yes.
Well, I remember Neil Brennan, our friend Neil Brennan, pointing out that he liked to think of the producer backstage with Stefan right before he went on Weekend Update and be like, okay, and just a reminder, Stefan, we really want St. Patrick's Day tips. If you could just keep it themed to that. And Stefan just like promising this would be the time that he would actually.
Got it. not listening to him at all. He thinks he's like the giant frog with the headphone backstage told me.
Minneapolis' hottest club is Boom. Bill stars in Barry on HBO. Production 3 of season 3 has been on pause because of that thing, the pandemic.
Oh,
the pandemic.
The COVID.
I love Stefan. When I'm sitting on the couch and just kind of going into a YouTube vortex, I'll go to YouTube, or I think SNL is on Hulu, and I'll just watch Stefan skit after Stefan skit after Stefan skit. And I love it. And I think Hader.
Yep.
You know what I'm going to say. Rolling Stone did a list years ago of the best cast members of all time of SNL, and they really they unranked. Bill wasn't high enough, is what I'm trying to say. Bill is one of the best underrated SNL cast members ever.
Yeah.
And the Stefan always cracks me up because his writing partner, Bill Hader's writing partner, would always slip in things on show night. So that's what would make Bill laugh as Stefan, because Bill had no idea what was in the cue cards until show night. And I love when people do that.
It's the greatest. I think he's like the epitome of the guy who is a mild, average-looking person whose personality and humor is so awesome that you're just you're so attractive because you're the funniest person ever.
And let's be clear, I knew people like Stefan. I did. I work with some now. We'll be right back, everybody, right after this. Stay with us. Not work with. I know people. Coming up next, I'm unveiling another best thing ever, and this one is perfect for the weekend. A new documentary goes literally behind the music to take a look at the life and career of the Bee Gees. Why these legends are so much more than disco. And then we're celebrating National Show and Tell at Work Day by unveiling some items ourselves. It's a Jason Show staff party still ahead.
In celebrity couple news, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are getting a divorce. No, not Kim Ye and Kardashian. Kim Yestian Kardashian. They had so much in common. Fame. I think they each had Louis Vuitton submarines, I think. It was a classic story. Boy meets girl. Girl breaks internet with champagne glass on her butt. Boy gets in year-long feud with Taylor Swift. Girl studies for the bar exam. Boy runs for president and gives girl a hologram of her dead father at her private island birthday party during a pandemic. It's a tale as old as time.
That's right. That's Colbert. Quarantine while with Colbert. That's right. Sorry, this is driving me nuts. I'm vacuuming. This carpet, I am my mother's son, and I love vacuuming. You think I'm joking.
He's not.
I'm vacuuming in the commercial break.
He does this
and
every
floor
day.
director Tyler goes, "Sit down. You have 10 seconds." But I need to finish it. Are you like that? Do you need, I love to vacuum because I like to see progress.
He does this every day, people.
Okay.
Honestly, it happens every day.
I'm a full-service host, right? You don't see Drew Barrymore vacuuming her own stuff. You don't see Ellen next to the dish. Don't diss the Olive Garden. I think that's just a good rule for humanity. Don't diss the Olive Garden. And Anderson Cooper is learning that lesson the hard way. On Wednesday, Anderson was talking about the riots of the Capitol, and in a rather snarky way said those involved would likely go back to the Olive Garden and to the Holiday Inn, have some drinks, and talk about what a great day it was. Well, the internet didn't appreciate the dig at the OG. The restaurant was trending on Twitter. I turned into Elmer Fudd there. The restaurant was trending on Twitter. Some people saying all the Olive Garden ever wanted to do was provide unlimited salad and breadsticks. Olive Garden so far has no response. Let me be fair. I like Anderson, but I'm also not going to lie to you. He can be a little, he's Gloria Vanderbilt's son, for heaven's sake.
Right.
The guy didn't live in a studio apartment in his 20s.
No.
So he could be a little snooty. I think he would even admit that.
Right.
And I don't like that. I don't like that. That's why you've heard me say it all the time. I don't like when she poo-poo food critics. I bust on Stephanie Hansen sometimes when she gets a little highbrow. I'm like, there is nothing wrong with the OG. Right. Are there better, Italian restaurants? Of course. Do I like some all-you-can-eat, never-ending pasta bowl and some pasta visual and breadsticks until I explode? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's not forget about the Holiday Inn, because sometimes the Holiday Inn is so nice that I can't even afford it anyway. So it's Holiday Inn's like really exciting when I can go to the Holiday Inn.
Yeah. Holiday Inns
just
used to be the
saying.
thing in the 60s. Oh, you wanted to stay at the
And you know
Holiday
what you're
Inn.
getting? It's fantastic. Free breakfast.
Yeah. Free continental breakfast. Let's go to the audience. Dave, do you like the OG? Do you like the Olive Garden?
Yes, I'm Italian, so I love it.
Oh, there we go. Yes. There we go.
Yep.
Neil,
The soup.
Neil and Corey, are you the OG fans?
Not huge fans, but
Okay.
maybe for lunch, just for some breadsticks, though.
See, Neil, this is what I appreciate. Neil had honesty. He could have just humored me and been like, sure. But Neil's just like, yeah, you know what? Not really my jam. Cynthia, how about you? Do you like the OG? I'm going to take, there we go.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm gluten-free, so they have gluten-free options, so that's cool.
Yes, they do.
They do?
And,
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, and they're, Cynthia's right, and they're create your own pasta dinner. I know their menu very well. You can pick a gluten-free pasta. There we go. Thank you, audience.
I didn't know that. By the way, I'm really digging Dave's artwork. Did you notice that?
Dave had great artwork, yeah.
Great
I love
artwork.
the Minnesota Nice. Yeah. Well, and also, Olive Garden used to be brothers with Red Lobster. And
Stop it!
Oh, yeah, they used to be the same company. And then they split off.
Like
but yeah.
crab.
And, Lord knows I love the claw. You can't bust on the Red Lobster. Next in the dish, one of the biggest failures of 2020 may not go completely dark after all. Roku is reportedly interested in buying Quibi's content. Whatever that means. Quibi was the much talked about mobile-only streaming platform. The short-lived company burned through $2 billion in like 4 months before shutting down. Roku is one of the top streaming distribution platforms. Its users watched nearly 60 billion hours of streaming content last year. It's unclear how much Roku would spend on the Quibi stuff or how many different shows they would be able to acquire. Here's my thing with this. I don't know anyone that's, clamoring for Quibi. I clamor for Quibi.
That was really fun.
Thank you. But I don't know, no one's going, ooh. Why would Roku? I think it's a waste of money.
I do too. It's very interesting and an odd choice. My parents have the Roku stick, pretty easy to navigate. I'm just curious, I didn't even know Roku had their own stuff.
I didn't
Do you know
either.
what I mean?
Their own content. I didn't know they had their own
content. That's the
Yeah,
word.
I didn't know they. I didn't.
I use the Fire Stick.
The Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah.
And I have an Apple TV.
Right.
So I don't use. Yeah.
You don't know what the other ones do.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we're in our own little ecosystems.
We know nothing.
We know nothing about the Roku. But yeah, I wouldn't. Dear Roku people, don't spend your money on Quibi stuff. Come up with your own content. They had like one good show, and that was the show about pasta.
But what if?
And I'm not trying to say that because of our Olive Garden conversation.
What if it's like heavily discounted though? Like I love a good deal.
What is it, like a Barnes & Noble clearance rack?
I don't know.
Yeah. You can get punked for 47% off. Next up, it's a must-see for music fans. A new documentary about a legendary music group is my latest best thing ever. Yeah. I always love doing these on Fridays because if you're looking for something to watch, so get your pen and paper down. Speaking of streaming services, this documentary is called How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? And it is on HBO Max, and it looks back at the history of the Bee Gees. Look at a little bit of the trailer.
All three of us did things to each other that I think we're all sorry for. I said, let's make an album in Miami. We had to adopt a new attitude and a new sound.
I said, well, why don't we just take a bar out of Night Fever and see if we can make a loop out of it? We were breaking new ground.
It was extraordinary. The Fever thing happened, that's when everything exploded.
I mean, that could very easily have just been a horn line. But instead, their voices are so sick, they're like, nah, we're gonna sing it.
Yeah, Justin in there, it said it well. We were just, that their voices were instruments. One of the many things that you just go, oh, yeah, absolutely. The documentary follows their triumphs and tragedies from having 5 songs in the top 10 chart in the late 70s to not being able to get on radio just a few years later in the early 80s. And that is one of the shocking things. I am 46, so my music memory really started like in the mid 80s. But as a child, I remember, and my mom's going to smile, I remember in our extra bedroom, we had our turn, my parents were very young and hip. You know, they had a cool stereo. And I remember the albums. I remember the albums sitting on that stereo. And the albums were as follows. Hotel California with the Waitress, the Disco Star Wars album, and then Saturday Night Fever my mom had. Everybody, every household in the 80s had that. So I bring this up because my memory of and my knowledge of the Bee Gees started and stopped with Saturday Night Fever and disco. What this documentary does, if you're like me, is you go like this. Oh wow, they were a huge hit before Saturday Night Fever, even bigger, and then they became a phenomenon because of Saturday Night Fever. And there's so many little revelations that I want you to discover yourself when you watch. But you know, one of the things is the movie Paramount didn't even want to make the movie. They thought it was going to be trash. People made fun of it, and then it comes out, and it is everywhere. I mean, they had to print new records. The Saturday Night Fever was such a hit. And another revelation, and I always love this. I love the origin of X, Y, and Z. Especially songs. How do you come up, like Dolly Parton, you know, with 9 to 5, Dolly came up with the rhythm because she was playing her fingernails and she goes, oh, this sounds like a typewriter. Something very similar happened with the song Jive Talkin'. Look at this.
Driving backwards and forwards to Criteria, this clickety-click thing was going on in this bridge every time we crossed over it. And in my head, it sounded like and it was gone. And eventually, I started singing to it in my head.
I remember going to the studio, Eric said, can you do chicken picking, Alan? I didn't really know what it was. So I just played this one note and muted it, thought it sounded like a chicken. And mixed with Barry's rhythm, it really worked, you know.
Yeah, so many hits, and as Jeff said, as you're watching it, you go, oh, they're responsible for that song. Oh, they had that song. Oh, they wrote that song. One of those moments of, oh, they wrote that song? Islands in the Stream. Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers.
Oh.
Now, and that's an interesting period in their career, which you discover in this documentary. Right after, or actually during the wave of Saturday Night Fever, a radio DJ in Chicago that I grew up with on The Loop. The Loop is a historic radio station in Chicago. Started a campaign called Disco Sucks and went to Comiskey Park, had an event where they burned thousands of disco records. And there's something about that you'll discover too that I'll let you. And there was a big backlash about disco, the disco culture. Some of it was deserved because like most things in culture, when something becomes popular culture runs it into the ground and ruins it. So there was a backlash against the Bee Gees. Radio stopped playing them. They were ostracized from the music business, so they had to recalibrate. They had to reinvent themselves, and one of the ways they did that was with songwriting. And one of the songs, one of the biggest, I would argue, Islands in the Stream with Dolly and Kenny.
That's fascinating because I wouldn't assume that leap over to country, right?
Yeah.
I mean, totally different genres to
well,
me.
that's, I'm so glad, but that's a great point. Again, this documentary breaks the stereotype of the limited view that you look at the Bee Gees with. This makes you realize how genius they really were and how important they really were. They were written off for many years in a joke. They're not a joke. And this documentary will show you. You can watch on HBO Max if you have that streaming service. Watch this weekend. I think you'll like it. Still ahead. It's National Show and Tell Day. I did my best Oprah there. And the staff is back. Jeff, Ted, Kendall, and me. We will show you and tell you when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. It's proof there's a national day for just about everything. In case it's not written on your calendar, don't know if it is for you, it is National Show and Tell Day at work. Very unique. The Jason Show staff has been doing show and tell for months now. It began actually during our, I think right before our quarantine shows. So of course we had to celebrate today. I mean, hello, it's tailor-made for us. Give it up. Here's our stars. Give it up for Kendall, producer Ted, and the grand poobah himself, our dear leader, executive producer Jeff. Good morning, stars.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now today we're going to mix it up as far as who goes first and blah, blah, blah. Ladies first today. So Kendall, you are up. Oh my, I didn't even look down and now I have. Kendall, show and tell us.
Okay, Chris, are you ready? This is my fish, okay? So this fish, it's made out of palm. It's not bark, but they have something else with their trees. Anyway, really lightweight, really weird looking, right? Like, why would I bring this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of guys. Am I alone? We're all kind of wondering. Yeah.
Okay, so this fish has a fun story that accompanies it. I got it in Europe, in Croatia. We gone there for our honeymoon. We went to Germany to visit some friends, then we went to Croatia with them, then we went to Italy. So I was picking up tchotchkes like along the way, little trinkets. This is super lightweight, so I thought, oh, this is fun, I'm gonna go there. So if we can pull up that first picture, Leo, this is me in Croatia having a drink at this really awesome restaurant that we'd heard about and read all about in Dubrovnik in the walled city. Having a drink, really enjoying my time, go and buy this weird tchotchke because I've had a couple glasses of wine, order some mussels at this famous restaurant, and then notice some birds. Next photo. Pigeons, they're just sitting there in this little area, and I'm like, oh, cute. Now, I should have noticed right around. They're cute.
No, pigeons are never cute.
Whatever, it's like a romantic walled city. Let me get to the meat of this.
Romantic.
Rats with wings.
I'm like, you can keep it here, Leo. I'm like, oh, this is fun, blah, 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 just talking. You start to notice all the locals are starting to leave this little square, and I'm like, oh, it must just be wrapping up lunchtime. I don't know. All of a sudden, it's because this woman has walked out, and she throws birdseed like Home Alone 2.
No.
The amount of pigeons that descended on the square was like the apocalypse. I dove under the table, grabbed my wine. This might have bird poop on it still.
Save the wine, always save the wine.
We're hid under the table. Jordan covers the mussels that we'd been eating up with a napkin. There was bird crap on us, like everywhere. It rained bird poop all over us, all over my poor little tchotchke. But the final photo is this. It turned out to be a fine day, and I think if you look really closely and zoom in, you can see bird poop in my hair, because I just kept drinking and going with it. But my Croatian story being, that's why you keep your tchotchkes, that's why you buy dumb things, because it's a really funny memory of me and my husband getting crapped on by thousands of pigeons in Croatia.
So.
Yes, questions, audience?
So the fish. Hashtag paperweight really has nothing to do with the actual bird story.
No,
the fish and the bird are two separate things.
No, but if you look in that second photo, if you want to rewind anyone,
we can't do that. Are you kidding me?
The little fish.
Well, if we request a graphic right now, Fox 9 News at 5 will roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you at home want to rewind, in the photo of all the pigeons, you can see this little market with this fish in it behind me. The moral of the story,
that is the flimsiest connection between item and tell, but I applaud you.
Thank you. So if you ever think that it might be fun to eat around a bunch of pigeons.
Oh, Leo did it!
Thanks, Leo. See in the very background, you can see it somewhere.
The market. You don't even know where it is.
No, I saw it when I found the photo. Anyway,
my goodness.
When people run that are locals, run because the pigeons are coming.
Yeah. And Jeff and Ted, am I the only one, too, that I love how Jordan didn't try to protect his wife like in that moment? He protected the mussels.
Yeah, we were hungry.
Yeah.
I saved the wine.
Yeah. Atta girl. Jeff, you're next.
Well, instead of Croatia, I'm going to take you to the exotic locale of my hometown, which is Heron Lake, Minnesota, southwestern Minnesota.
Hey.
So my show and tell is older than Kendall. It was when I was in high school. And Ted asked the other day, because we were talking about Kendall's head size when the hat story.
Yeah.
And I said, well, they had to special order the football helmet for me when I was on the football team in high school.
No.
I have a huge noggin.
No.
What? I didn't bring my helmet in, but I have my jersey from high school.
75.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow, and your name.
I have the home and away jersey.
Wow.
Oh, there's different jerseys?
Yes.
Jason, do you know what
Otherwise,
number?
everyone has the same color.
Oh, I don't
Home
know.
was the black one and away was the white one.
Oh.
And then I think we have a picture.
Oh, yes.
No!
So
You look like Rudy.
Can I just point out, I've always kind of been into my hair. If you look at the hairstyle, so that was after practice. We took photos, and I had to make sure that I went and got my hair wet and styled it.
Of course you did. Look at that.
So that was 1992. The Heron Lake Okabena Lakefield Silver Bullets.
Wow.
Was my high school
Wow.
football team.
Color me impressed.
Told
Ted,
you I was sporty.
That is everything I had hoped it would be.
everything.
Touche.
I mean, literally. That, to Jeff, I mean, we could end the show right here.
Well, you know.
I mean, I don't know how Ted and I are going to.
Yeah.
Ted, and you're all by yourself next, buddy. You're
He probably has another paperweight, for all we know.
Just like Kendall will never live down her swing in the snake, Ted will never live down his show and tell where he showed a paperweight.
Where can you buy that again, Ted?
We don't care. More show and tell with
Antiques.
the Jason Show staff when we return. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. Oh, we are joined by
Yes.
Oh, he put it on! No way. That
Glorious.
is glorious.
Still fits.
Still fits after all these years.
Starting at right guard, number
No,
75.
I was left tackle.
Oh, I was
Oh.
gonna ask Jason if he knew what area of the football field
I
he would have
have
played
no
on.
idea.
at
I don't
number
even know. He
75.
just said, what did you say, right ankle? What did you say?
Left tackle.
Left tackle? I don't know what
Left
that is.
tackle.
I have no
So
idea.
nose tackle. There's a right.
We're celebrating National Show and Tell Day at work by doing a little show and tell. And now, I got to tell you, Ted gets this whole segment to himself.
Ooh.
Take it away, Ted. And wrap yourself, by the way.
Of course. So, as some people know, I moved into a new house.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Homeowner.
Thank you. And I was looking for a new bed. I had a bed for like 10 years, and it was time for a change. So I was looking online, and I was like, why not check out one of these bed-in-a-boxes, right? What are they about? Because they're all over online if you look anywhere. So anyways, I picked out the Wink bed, made in Wisconsin. Leo, we can start the video. So made in Wisconsin. And you know, you can watch videos of the unboxing process online for like ever. So here we are. We're in my new master bedroom, and I am unboxing the Wink bed.
I could watch this for an hour.
Jeff, no wonder he gets the segment to himself. Okay.
And I'm not the handiest guy,
You
but
don't
you would
say.
think like opening up a box would be like really easy, and somehow I'm still like looking for directions and like trying to figure out how to do this. I have to go downstairs because I don't have a knife, so I find a screwdriver to open it up, and here it is.
Is this real time?
Oh my goodness!
Oh my word.
There it is. How about that?
No frame?
No, well, the frame came later, so I do have a frame, but not here yet.
Okay, that just puffed up by itself?
Just puffed up right by itself, and I think we do have a finished picture. There it is.
Wow.
And that is the best rug of all time, but that's neither here nor
Ted,
there.
did you get that rug at Home Goods?
No, I had the owner leave it.
Oh.
Ew. Okay.
There wasn't crime scene chalk on it, was there?
No. And I do have a bed frame, so I'm not sleeping on the floor anymore.
I mean, that was like the one frat boy question. Like, you buy a house and then you don't have a bed frame, Ted, but I'm proud of you.
Hey, is it okay? So it's called Wink, as in Martindale.
Wink.
Yeah.
Wink bed.
And
Super comfortable. A lot of these bed-in-a-boxes are just foam or memory foam. This thing's got springs in it, so I don't know how they like suck it down and crunch it up without screwing up the springs, but
They get a big vacuum sealer, don't they?
Yeah.
And they turn on the vacuum?
I love that we're all trying to figure this out. Yeah. So it's Wink, from Wisconsin, so hashtag support local.
Yep.
It's comfortable. You love it.
Great sleep, great naps.
Should we wrap now?
Yep, we can wrap.
Perfect. After the break, it's my turn for Staff Show and Tell when we return right after this. The wink bed. That looked comfortable.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day.
Buddies are the best. Yam House. Speaking of supporting locals, go download some of their music today. You won't be sorry. Welcome back. On this National Show and Tell at work, Show and Tell Day at work, we're celebrating with the Jason Show staff. There's football player Jeff. There's Rudy. Everyone, look, there's Rudy. There's Ted, and then obviously there's the lovely Kendall and her wooden fish. Okay, so finally it's my turn. Obviously, speaking of Jeff, there's a spinning wheel of stories that I tell from time to time that Jeff always raises his eyebrows and goes, "Oh, here goes story number 4." And one of those stories is the fact that, in 1994, I worked at the Disney store in South Bend, Indiana. And I've loved Disney for as long as I can remember, and it was a dream to work in any capacity at Disney. So they were opening a store about an hour from my home, so I decided to go apply, and I got hired, and I was delighted until I was fired 2 months later for not being perky enough, which that's the story. But I often have referred to the training process that we had to go through before the store opened, and it's called traditions. And for the first time on our show, here is my training manual from 1995, the Disney Store Traditions Manual for Jason Matheson Traditions and Guest Services.
Do they know you have that?
What is that?
I don't know. Bob Iger will probably sue me in about 5 minutes.
You may not be allowed in the park.
I may not be allowed in the park anymore. Anyway.
How thick is that thing?
Look at this. This is thicker than Fox's training manual.
It actually is.
It is. And there are questions. Like you have to,
Give us a question.
Okay, here, let me go to.
How long can your hair be?
Nothing about the Smurfs, so just about other
Okay, first of all, the Smurfs, that's a different intellectual property.
Who is with Snow White?
How dare you, Leatherhead?
Potato.
Yeah, Leatherhead. Is that what the George Clooney movie was called? Yeah, anyway. Oh, you know what I'll do? Look at this. Leo, take this shot. Let's cover the Disney Store look. You had a very specific code of honor as far as what you could look like. Here we go. Costume. Our costume creates one of the first impressions of the organization for our guests. The costume must be kept clean and neat at all times. Remember, when you're wearing your costume, you're playing a role in our show. Yeah.
Poetic. Really.
As far as questions, let's see here, like trivia. Oh, like we had to memorize all of the, look at this. We had to memorize all of the characters in all of the animated movies. Look at this.
Wow.
All of them. And this is how I learned, remember my little magic trick, how to remember the 7 dwarves?
Yeah.
It's 2 S's, 2 D's, and 3 emotions. Sleepy, sneezy, dopey, doc, happy, bashful, grumpy. 1995, and I still have it.
Wow. Why do you still have that?
Why do you still have that fish?
I got it
Hey, let's calm it down.
like 3 years ago.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
She has left the building, everybody. No, you know what? I think it's because it holds such a great memory and a sad and a funny memory. I obviously wasn't laughing at the time when they fired me.
I have a question about the firing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what was the tipping point for you not being perky enough?
Well, you're during the store opening, they give you like a 90-day trial period. And the manager right from the first class of traditions, I could tell that the general manager and I were not
clicking.
Did you roll your eyes?
Did I what? I'm sorry?
Did you roll your eyes at him?
Are you speaking from personal experience as my superior or my husband? Yeah. Anyway, but no, we didn't click. And so I think right away I was pegged. But I took it so seriously. Like I learned all the facts. I learned the premiere dates of all the movies. I took it so seriously. And yeah, I guess I was in a quiet mood one day. And at the end of that shift, I was called into the back room and I had to give up my Mickey Mouse.
How perky was everyone else?
Very perky, Ted. Very perky. But she said, you know, this isn't going to work out. You're not quite perky. You're not perky and you don't fit in. And I got up to walk out and she goes, no, you have to give up your cardigan. And it was a Mickey Mouse, it was a cardigan with a big M on it. So I had to give her my cardigan. And then she goes, and by the way, those khakis are ours as well. You can send them back to us. I had to send them back my khakis.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like classes, like perky classes you could go to?
Perky classes?
Well, to be perkier.
No. No.
We don't all need perky classes, Jeff.
No. I thought, and I don't know what, I'm serious, I didn't know what I did wrong. I mean, see, look at this. I had to write down these answers. Look, one of the trivia, you don't have to take it, Leo. Walt Disney began his career in Hollywood with the Disney Brothers Studio in what year? 1923.
How does this help sell like a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal?
A good question. My final question here before we go to break. You are expected to talk to people as they're standing in line. You're supposed to go up if there was like a line of 4. The expectation is you go up and you go, "Hi, Kendall. Who's your favorite Disney character?" Now, this is Jeff's nightmare, and mine now, too.
Leave me alone.
I want to be left alone now. I do. Really, I want to be left alone. Please. But I'd have to go up and go, Kendall, and if you would say Snow White, I would go, well, did you know a fun way to say the 7 dwarfs? That's what they want you to do.
So what I'm learning from this is if you don't want someone to ask you questions while you're in line, just completely ignore them and they'll move on.
Yeah, and then they'll get fired. Give it up for Kendall, producer Ted, and executive producer Jeff. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us, everyone. Kendall, what movie was released in 1928? So, the Jason Show fan club on Facebook always rates our show and tells, like who wins the best. And today, the majority has ranked Jeff number 1. What sent him over the edge was that he still fit into his football jersey.
True.
Yeah.
Without the pads.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you in that commercial break, there was a little struggle getting it off, but you didn't hear that from me. Chris, right? If I was in a court of law, I wouldn't tell you that he looked like me taking my male Spanx off in 2010, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Jason Show TV. And please be nice. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, everyone, on this Friday morning. Thank you, as always, for watching. We really appreciate it, making us part of your day. Speaking of making us a part of your day, they made us a part of theirs. Thanks to Dave, Cynthia, Neil, and Corey. Thank you guys so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Now, and then Neil, you and I are going to go to Olive Garden soon. Cynthia, I'm going to take you as well. And then Dave, we're going to go ice fishing. Okay, my friend?
Sweet.
Come on up.
Okay, I'll get the Fox 9 chopper and I'll be there in a couple hours. There we go. There's our audience. Okay, it's time for the bubblegum goodbye. When I open this, while I'm opening this up, some house cleaning. I said Hotel California with that album, Supertramp. That's what it was. That album that I remembered earlier. Yeah.
Way
I got
back.
corrected by several people.
Oh.
Here we go, Kendall.
Yeah.
When are you the most relaxed? That's a great question.
Probably when I'm hanging out outside at my parents', like in the woods or.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to be outside. Really being outside.
The lake, my in-laws' cabin, and I know that will shock everybody, but I mean Disney World. I'm never more happy and more relaxed, and people can laugh about it, but I am the most.
It's true.
I am the most joyous.
Yeah.
Like capital J joy. I'm the happiest there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say outside at my parents' are Huddles. It's the resort we've been going to since I was a kid up north.
Oh,
Just
see,
like
that's
happy.
That's when I'm very calm, and I'm calm during our pre-show meetings too. Never.
Never.
Monday on the show, it's one of the hottest food trends of the past few months. Learn the secret to creating a delicious charcuterie board. This is going to be, I love a good charcuterie board. That's Monday. But right now, if you're watching and you're being bullied, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody, not on email, nothing, can tell you're doing it wrong. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.